Today's video, I'm going to be doing my Q&A for August 2025. So thank you so much to everyone who asked questions. The way you can ask a question is, well, at any time, I just take a screenshot and put it in my Q&A folder. Or when I put out a specific request for it on my Instagram story, which if you're not following that, it is the closet by Connor _, so make sure you go give it a follow. And on my YouTube community page as well, which the only way you'll see that request is if you are subscribed to my channel. So please make sure you do that. But I just thought of this right now. Before I jump into the Q&A questions, I might do a little Hermes unboxing because I did pick up an item 6 weeks back and I have not revealed it to you all. So I've used this item, but I thought I might show you that first. So let's do that and then we'll do the Q&A. But firstly, if it is your first time here, my name is Connor and on my channel I like to talk about all things luxury. So if that's something you're into, I'd love it if you could hit the subscribe button and the bell button so you're notified when I bring out new videos. And if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. Alright, so for the little Hermes reveal, this is something that I bought about 6 weeks ago as like a little gift to Connor for my new job. And it was something that I've been looking at for a while and I just thought, why not? Needing an excuse. So it's like not even wrapped up anymore, but this is the receipt. And then basically I got this belt, which I absolutely love because I wanted a more like understated belt, but I still wanted an Hermes one because yeah, make it make sense, but I did. So obviously this is the buckle in palladium hardware. It's like a shiny palladium and then it's got a little H there in like a brushed palladium. And then it is in a black box leather. And then the other side is in this like really cool tone kind of chocolate brown color. Now, my old Hermes belt that I got in 2021, I want to say, that was the like normal H and it had the gold hardware, the gouache like pattern on the hardware, and then it was like the leather color was gold and then black on the other side. I very rarely reach for that belt because it had gold hardware. When I bought it, I thought, oh yeah, I'll get gold hardware, blah, blah, blah. Not thinking that everything I wore it with, I just didn't like it. So I actually sold that belt maybe at the start of the year, and then this was just on my list to replace it with. So this one is a lot more me, and I have been wearing this to my new job, and yeah, it's just understated, I guess, but you know, I wanted it. And then this like, you know, brown color is a little bit more me, like it's a bit more cool toned, goes with more of my palette of clothes that I wear, so like navy, greys, blues, that sort of thing. And yeah, this was, you know, in the realm of Hermes pricing. It wasn't cheap. I don't even know if I want to look at this again because I can't remember. $1,620, okay? So for something that holds up my pants, she's she's not for the economically faint-hearted, but it is what it is. But technically, because I did sell my other one and reinvested it back into this was under $1,000. So, you with me? You're on board? But yeah, it's a great belt. I love it. It goes with everything, obviously. I mean, it's black and silver. What's not to like? So, just thought I would share that one with you. Yeah, because what's the point of buying it if I can't share it with you people? Okay? But anyways, that's it. I'll jump straight into the questions now. So a lot of you asked multiple of the exact same question or a variation of the exact same question. So to save you all having to sit through me say the exact same thing multiple times, I'll just condense those all into one. But great minds think alike with you lot. But I'll start first with Sky Run the Show, who was asked, if you could just snap your fingers, what Holy Grail piece would you get? And she's done a little orange love heart. So I think that's a bit of a nod to Hermes. I actually don't know. I feel like it would have to be a made to order of some description, and I'd feel like I'd do it with Fendi because their range, well, sorry, I'll digress for one moment. When they actually want to process what you want, their range is great. But yeah, I feel like it would be in some sort of like exotic, like ostrich, because that's what I wanted. But yeah, I feel like it would be one of those things because I don't, you know, if someone was like, oh, Connor, you've won the lottery, like, what are you getting? I actually don't know what I would do. I don't know. So I feel like that's more of a reflection of what's currently out there, because it's just been dribs and drabs these days, but I don't know. Holy Grail. I'm not a religious guy, so I don't know. Sky, I don't know, but it would be a made to order and whatever I'm kind of feeling at the time. Hope that answers your question. Alrighty, so the next question has been asked by a lot of you, and it's basically around how my new job is going. So how's the new job? Are you enjoying it? I think someone asked, how's it been transitioning into HR, and was the uni course you did, useful for your job? My new job, I'm loving it. I think I'm about 6 or 7 weeks into it, and I love the team that I work with. I love the culture of the company that I work with. And I actually like the content of the work that I do. I was a little bit worried that it could potentially be a bit monotonous or just something that I would get bored of, but I have found that everything is very different, and it forces you to think very objectively and think outside the box a lot of the time. Like no day is the same, basically, which I love for a Pisces like myself. But there's still a lot of structure in what I do, which again, I love. But I'm really enjoying it. It's just flown by. I feel like I've only been there for like a week, but I obviously haven't. But yeah, it's great. It's something that I love doing, and I can see myself going down different avenues within the HR space. I think a lot of people think HR is one thing, but in turn it's the complete opposite. And despite what everyone thinks, you do actually help people. A lot of what I do is more helping like employees versus like managers, if that makes sense. I think a lot of people think HR is there just to protect the business, and it is to an extent, but it's making sure that you're helping the employees, everyday workers, and being, compliant. So it's something that I actually enjoy a lot. And yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes in my future. With regards to the uni that I did, definitely helped. It helped looking at how stakeholders engage a lot with other areas in HR. It kind of opens up your perspective to that. A lot of the language that is used and a lot of the processes and policy lens, the uni content focused on, which is something that gave me a lot of a head start in the role. So I'm thankful that I did do that. But yeah, thank you for asking, everyone, and I am very happy. Next question is from World of Harold. He's asked, do you have a favourite reality show? Harold, do I have a favourite reality show? Okay, I have been watching The Real Housewives since 2013, over a decade of my life, okay? I freaking love The Real Housewives, but over the years, my affinity to a franchise has changed. I would have to say now, Salt Lake City is definitely the number one. I remember when it came out during COVID, I feel like it was the end of 2020, and it was just everything about it I just fell in love with. Salt Lake City is the gateway drug that I use to other people who have not seen The Real Housewives, okay? It got Dale to watch The Real Housewives, okay? That speaks for itself. Meredith is so hooked. She watched all 5 seasons that are currently out in a row, and she had the shakes, okay? She was like, I need more. What do you mean there's not a 6th season? I'm like, Meredith, they're filming it right now. She goes, but when is it out? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, no, I'm going to call the production company. I was like, okay, Meredith, you do that. But yeah, I love Salt Lake City, and I love Potomac as well. That's probably my top 2. Over the years, Beverly Hills has been a bit snooze fest and all of that. But yeah. What can I say? Island Girl 87 has asked, game for epic Aussie car karaoke, you, Dale, Meredith and Jerusha. Look, that is a lot of personality in one car. I do not know if anyone would get a word in edgewise. I don't think a lot of karaoke would be getting done, but definitely that's a lot of personality in one car. I mean, we could be in a bus and that would be a lot of personality in said vehicle. I don't know how that would go down, but it would be entertaining nevertheless. I feel like it would just be a lot of Jerusha yapping and a lot of Meredith listening, because I don't know if Meredith would get a word in edgewise in that vehicle. Yeah, so yeah, definitely a good idea. I don't think karaoke would be actually happening, but never say never. Next question is from Traveling Gay Panda. He's asked, do you have a signature scent? I don't really. Like, I've got my Louis Vuitton Meteor, which I love, and I've also got the, what's the other one? A Lumosity or whatever it is, which I also love. But I don't know if I have like an affinity to a certain scent. But I love, I guess, I don't love sweet fragrances. I like, I guess, more citrus ones, but not where it's an obvious citrus smell. Does that make sense? I'm very bad at describing smells. It's very hard to do. But yeah, I like those kinds of ones. I love the Loewe Women's 001, which smells like coconut, but again, it's not in like an overly sweet way. It's very subtly coconutty. I did once get Jo Malone Tonka and Myrrh, I think, which I love. I've only, like, once I use that one, I haven't replaced it yet, but it's on my, if I ever run into a Jo Malone concession and, you know, I'm in the mood to buy a perfume, that's on that one. I do love that. I've also got the Hermes Tonka, Vivier Tonka or something like that, which I love. So those kind of like hazelnut tobacco-y ones I do love, but I don't like the oud ones. You know, like I don't want to smell like a car salesman. So yeah. Hope that answers your question. No, I don't have a signature scent, but I do love ones that I have regularly. But I'm always open to fragrances. Like, I'm not one of those people that just has one ride or die. The more the merrier. But yeah. 2 questions asked by Rags and Riffs. She's asked, what do you love so much about reality TV? And do you stress about what's going on in the world at the moment? The first question, look, I love my reality TV, but I think like a lot of people who watch it, you take it with a grain of salt. I guess it's more about escapism or just entertainment where you don't need to think too hard. But it's like anything, like even soaps, right? Everyone goes, oh, I don't like Home and Away, I don't like Neighbours. But if it happened to be on when you're watching TV, you're like, what's going on here? And you can kind of just jump into it. Like it doesn't require a lot of thinking and it's addictive. So I think it's produced in a way to be addictive. But yeah, I find it hilarious. I almost watch it like a satire, but something I love and enjoy, and I don't think too hard about it. So I don't watch it like it's this groundbreaking piece of TV, but I also do. And do I stress about what's going on in the world? I do and I don't. Look, I'm very much circle of control these days. There's a lot of things that are way beyond my control and I cannot waste energy thinking about things that I can't change. Obviously, there are things that I have empathy towards and there are things that I have viewpoints on. But again, even with politics and all of that stuff, it's something that I'm aware of. It's something that I have a basic knowledge on, but I don't let it dictate everything in my life because otherwise, you know, you'd be overconsumed by it. I think limiting yourself to how much news you do watch is a healthy thing to do. And if you do watch news, making sure that it's not something that just suits your viewpoint, something that's very, I guess, holistic or a very bird's eye view on what's actually going on. Because if you just surround yourself with your own views or your own narrative of what you think something is, you'll be very, very disappointed when somebody else has a different viewpoint, or even if they're talking about the actual facts of what happened. I think just, yeah, knowing when to switch off and knowing when to separate what's going on to what's actually going on in your life is a healthy thing to do, in my opinion. But I kind of just, yeah, I just do it like that. So I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but it works for me. Next question has been asked a few times by a few people, all who ironically live in Singapore. Any plans to visit Singapore? Would you like to come again? If you did, what would you do again? I would love to go to Singapore. Honestly, we had so much fun when we went. It was very easy, carefree. It was for somewhere that is so busy and vibrant, it was very, like everyone kind of just kept to themselves, which was great. And yeah, my skin was never better after those few days in Singapore, because I think it was June last year and I had the worst eczema. I get really bad eczema, but that specific winter was very dry here in Queensland and I had like this rash on my hands, and then after like the second day in Singapore, it had gone. So the humidity does wonders for the skin. And yeah, we had such a great time. I have no plans as of yet, but it's one of those things where you can always kind of slot it in. It's just Australia, being on this side of Australia, going to Singapore, so much of your flight is going across Australia. If I lived in Perth, it would be a very quick journey, but you know, it's always on the cards and no plans though. So, hee. Styled by Gwenny, my friend here on the YouTubes, has asked, why are you so fabulous? Oh, shucks, Gwenny. The same reason you are. It's just how we are. I've been watching your Parisian vlogs and I'm very jealous, but I'm also not, because it looks like it was very bloody hot. So I'm glad you guys had a good time, but I would have been sweating out of every orifice. Next question by David E. Bickham. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I can't see properly. Has asked, how is the python on your Fendi made to order holding up? On the fence about adding a python trim. David, it is going good actually. I mean, let me grab it. So, I mean, it actually hasn't discolored. It looks, again, I said this last time in the video, it looks different on camera than it does in person, but it hasn't darkened too much or patinaed. I've had no lifted scales. Again, I have conditioned it a lot, or not a lot, but I've conditioned it in the time that I have had it, which is 2 years, nearly 2 years now. But yeah, it's been great. I probably wouldn't get a whole bag in python because that's just a lot of surface area to kind of look after. But in terms of it being on the handle, like of all places for this to be on the handle was the one that would get touched the most, or it's been great. It's very soft. And yeah, I'd recommend getting it as a trim. Go for gold, you have my blessing. Now, the next question by far was asked the most in various different iterations. Basically asking, am I dating anyone? Do I have a boyfriend? Have I been seeing someone? And so on and so forth. And yes, I have been dating someone for the past few months and it's just been great. It's been really good and I'm very happy and he's great. He's just such a kind-hearted person and I think that's all you can really ask for. And yeah, so I'm just on that path and you know, I'm happy. So you're welcome for the little update. The next question, Mika Debbies has asked, any other made-to-orders in your future? The peekaboo is such a wonderful piece. It is a wonderful piece. I'm very, very happy with the peekaboo. I mean, I wanted to do another made-to-order with Fendi and they didn't want to make it. So it leaves a bit of a, not bitter taste in your mouth, but a kind of like a I can't be bothered taste. So I would love to, once the wound heals from that, you know, whenever that was, March or February, yeah, but I would love to. I've got to let my heart heal first, okay? And then the last question I'll round things off with is, what are you planning for your next travel adventure? And any Fendi desires, are you thinking of the cute dumpling bag? The dumpling bag is very, very cute. I have seen that. I don't have a big affinity for dumplings, okay? I'm more of a bread fan, a carbohydrate lover. I guess the dumpling is that a carbohydrate? Probably. But yeah, I have seen that, it's very cute. I don't have the same taste buds for the dumpling bag, but I've seen a few people buy it and it's very cool. In terms of travel adventures, you just have to watch this space. Maybe something's coming up, maybe it isn't. You'll just have to, you'll have to wait and see, won't you? God, I'm full of suspense today. No, look, nothing is planned as of this very moment today, but that could change very soon. So you'll be the first to know when there is concreteness, something in concrete. Yeah, that's what we'll say. But yeah, thank you so much everyone for all of your questions. There were many more and I always put them into like a random folder, like a file on my phone of Q&A questions, so I can add them into other Q&As later. But thank you again for all of your questions and give this video the thumbs up as well if you've enjoyed it. Pop something down in the comments as well. I hope to see you all very shortly in my next video. Whenever that may be is now my little disclaimer I say because I honestly don't know when it may be. But yes, bye.